Hey guys, let's get more news about Dallas, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Cowboys fans blast Jerry Jones after son blinds players. The Dallas Cowboys had a rough game against the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday, November 10th, to say the least. The Cowboys fell 34-6 to the Eagles at home, extending the Cowboys' dry spell of winning games on home turf. Franchise quarterback Dak Prescott will be out indefinitely with a hamstring injury, so the team utilized backup Cooper Rush. Unfortunately, Mother Nature played a role in a touchdown attempt that rushed through to CeeDee Lamb from Dallas, and fans aren't happy about it. During the game, Dallas made it to the end zone and rushed through the football to Lamb on a third-and-goal attempt from the 3. It looked like Lamb caught the pass for an uncomplicated touchdown. But not so fast. Lamb lost the football because of what appeared to be the glare of the sun coming from AT&T Stadium windows as the sun was setting. Lamb motioned to his eyes, trying to explain that he couldn't see the football. So, Dallas had to go for a 23-yard field goal. Really rare in sports to see the consequences of your hubris play out so plainly. Fans, of course, weren't happy about it. Jonathan Jones, lead NFL insider for the NFL on CBS, posted a message on X, stating, "Really rare in sports to see the consequences of your hubris play out so plainly." Attached to his X post, one fan commented, "LOL, thanks Jerry," while another one wrote, "Wonder why they didn't pull down the curtains?" Another fan commented, "They have curtains specifically made for that window. Why do they not use it?" According to Carl Rasmussen of Sports Illustrated, Dallas Cowboys owner and General Jerry Jones owns full-length blackout curtains for AT&T Stadium's windows that are used for concerts, college football games, high school football games, and almost any other event hosted at his stadium. However, Jones deciding to perhaps place television broadcast aesthetics ahead of practicality for Cowboys home games cost his squad a touchdown that could have turned the tide of Sunday's game in Dallas' favor, Rasmussen explained. One fan asked, "You'd think they can afford some blinds or something," and was answered by another ex-user, who said, "They have them but only use them for concerts. They don't want to admit their mistake / they think it's some type of advantage over the opponent even though it seems to only hurt them." "Those Dallas Sun rays hit different." Jay Busby of Yahoo Sports commented, "It's the details that kill ya." AT&T Stadium in Dallas is Jerry Jones' crowning architectural achievement, a monument to Cowboy excellence and a model for the next generation of billion-dollar sports palaces. It's a majestic creation, with just one small flaw: it has a tendency to blind players. He added, "The angle of the late-year sun with the east-west positioning of the stadium combines to create an environment that's quite literally tough to look at." Busby also added a little dig to his story, noting that Dallas can use it to track in-season futility. When the November sun blinds its players, it's almost time for the Cowboys to be eliminated from playoff contention. Everything's right on schedule. The Dallas Cowboys are broken, and the long-term solution is obvious. We've crossed the halfway point of the 2024 NFL regular season, and the end can't come quickly enough for the Dallas Cowboys. America's team predictably fell to 3-6 on the year Sunday with an embarrassing 34-6 blowout loss to the rival Philadelphia Eagles in front of their home crowd in Arlington. It wasn't the first soul-crushing loss of the season for the Cowboys, and it sure looks like it won't be the last. Starting quarterback Dak Prescott missed the game with a hamstring injury that forced him out of the previous week's loss to the Atlanta Falcons, and could end up requiring season-ending surgery for the highest-paid player in NFL history. Sunday's outing was the kind Cowboys fans will wish they could forget, but unfortunately, the NFL record books won't allow it. Cowboys have just set a dubious record. They have now trailed by 20-plus points in their last 5 home games. First time in NFL history. It's easy to point to Prescott's injury as the primary reason for the loss, but his presence sure didn't help the Cowboys avoid the same fate in those other 4 home games, including an absolute drubbing at the hands of the Detroit Lions that was over so early. Prescott spent the fourth quarter on the bench. Micah Parsons was back from his lengthy injury absence, and while he made his share of impact plays, it wasn't nearly enough to make up for the persistent ineptitude the Cowboys displayed yet again on both sides of the ball. So, how can the Cowboys fix this thing? Well, for this year, they can't. It sure looks like Prescott is going to land on season-ending injured reserve, having surgery with an eye on getting fully healthy for the 2025 season. Considering what we saw from Cooper Rush and Trey Lance in his stead Sunday, and the fact that the trade deadline has passed, this is probably how most Cowboys games are going to go the rest of the way in 2024. But if the franchise is serious about righting the ship and creating long-term success, it has to start at the top, and that means the Cowboys have to find a real general manager. Clearly the awful product in front of him isn't enough on its own to convince Jerry Jones to hand over the personnel and roster-building decisions to someone else, so it'll take some convincing from anyone who might have his ear. He clearly likes to shop for his own groceries, but the Sunday meals that result from his choices have inspired more Pepto-Bismol purchases than Michelin stars. It was Jones who handpicked Mike McCarthy as the head coach that could finally get this generation of his franchise over the hump and win a championship. That has been a colossal failure, as McCarthy's bland, outdated scheme and lackluster game-day management skills have been painfully evident. Jerry Jones's reason for not firing Mike McCarthy is bad news for Cowboys head coach. It's one thing not to throw support behind your head coach during a tough stretch, but what Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones did on Sunday is entirely different. Following the Cowboys' 34-6 home loss to the rival Philadelphia Eagles, there was no shortage of pressing questions directed at Jones. But one that's remained a constant during the team's 4-game losing streak and 3-6 start to the year was about head coach Mike McCarthy's job security. Whatever public support Jones had previously expressed regarding McCarthy seemed to be gone on Sunday. Instead, Jones opted for a strange response that should leave the head coach feeling ominous about his future in Dallas. According to ESPN's Ed Werder, Jones responded that he's committed to McCarthy finishing the season without equivocation. However, the reasoning for that was a bit head-scratching. Jones stating that he didn't want to fire a coach during the season because he regrets doing so in the past is confusing. The Cowboys are 3-6 and quickly trending toward a high draft pick. As badly as Jones wants to hold out for a miracle turnaround and playoff berth, nothing signals that anything of that magnitude is realistic. Jones's regret over firing Sean Gailey in 1999 is fair, as the franchise's next coach was Dave Campo, who went 15-33 over 2 seasons. However, Wade Phillips's tenure in Dallas had run its course, and Jason Garrett took over while leading the team to 3 NFC East titles. It's a different day and age for the Cowboys, and no coach since Barry Switzer has even managed to come within striking distance of a Super Bowl appearance. McCarthy knew he was coaching for his job this season, considering Jones's decision to let him play out the final year of his deal. But the comments made by Jones on Sunday sound like McCarthy is simply finishing out the season before his search for a new job begins. And you, fan? What do you think of the situation of Mike McCarthy? Leave your opinion in the comments.